Hey guys, it's Tiff and I am back. So we are going to do the next stop in my SNL challenge to use things from the kitchen. And we've got our circles that we've already masked in the previous video. Sorry about that, I shook my table. But we've got these that we used in a previous video, or made in a previous video with the Heidi Swapp Golden May Color Shine. And I did add a few splats from the leftover that was on these circle pieces that we used in the previous video. There's some left on the top, and so I just decided to add some splats because I'm going to be adding some sequins and wood veneers here in a little bit. So then I've taken my watercolors and I've mixed up a navy bluish type of color. It's a little more royal than navy. But I've placed my cookie cutter, and I'm just going to firmly press the cookie cutter down while I use my watercolors to, and this will bleed a little bit, but I'm just trying to get the shape of it. I'm not super particular. You could cut this out, like die cut it, in order to do this if you'd like. And the other thing is I made sure, one, that I do my watercoloring after I misted. Otherwise, it's just going to reactivate this watercolor, and I think it'll cause you problems. And the other thing is and I'm sorry about the shadows. I know it's pretty dark, but it's the best lighting I have today. It's really stormy here. I know that bothers some of you guys, but it is what it is, right? So hopefully you can still get the idea of what I'm doing here. Sorry. I try to have my husband's phone to see the time, but it's not really working out because it keeps blacking out. So I'm going to use this to get the general shape. And then I'm going to heat set that, so it's going to get a little loud, so sorry about that. It doesn't have to be perfectly heat set. Okay, so what I was saying was it doesn't have to be perfectly heat set, just the general idea. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush and use it to kind of straighten things out a little bit, so it still brings the shape. I have the shape down. I'm just going to kind of use my paintbrush to fill in everything and make sure it's nicely colored. I still want it to look watercolored, so I'm not super concerned with it looking perfect. As you see, that got a little bigger than it actually is. But I don't mind that. And I'm going to carefully just round that out as best I can. So like I said, I'm not looking for perfection here. I'm more looking for just a little more of a cohesive look, right? So I want it to have somewhat of an ombre look. So a little bit darker at the bottom. So I'm just going to pick up a little more color for that. And I think it'll bring some dimension, because in case, I know I haven't mentioned it yet, and in case you haven't noticed, I'm not going to actually use a photo on this layout. This layout is actually going to be of about my husband and I, and we met in St. Augustine, Florida, and we met in Gainesville, Florida, but we took our second date to St. Augustine, and we were engaged in St. Augustine. So we don't have any photos of that, but I really want to document it before. We've been married 7 years now. So it's not like I'm going to forget, but I think I could forget more of the details if we don't go ahead and document that. So as you can see, I'm just painting on this darker blue. And I'm sorry if you can hear music in the background. It just really kills my husband to give me, you know, some time to make videos. He has to have his, how do I explain this? His man time while I'm doing this. If you hear that, that is what that is. Okay, now I'm going to go to our more medium color. In the top, I'm going to try not to touch that one. So I still need to even this side out a bit. Right? You can see that. And it's all going to be this medium color. Like so. And
really?
Just like so. Just like this. Alright, perfect. And I'll be back in the next vid to embellish this.